Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of 49ers Live tonight. Professor B here at the Satellite Digital Media Studios in San Francisco. Behind me, this is the Candlestick, Professor B's Candlestick Man Cave. Welcome to another edition of Niners Radio 49 Live, or 49ers Live on this late Monday night. Hope you guys are just wrapping up watching Monday Night Football and usually going after Monday Night Football because of we don't want to go on the air because of conflict. So we want to be fair. Give the for all of you watching Monday Night Football a give that time that space and time. So we are now going to go on live though. We're just going to give you this is going to be probably much of a brief show tonight. We're going to get into what's going on around the NFL with the 49ers. Christian McCaffrey probably should be ready to go on Sunday when the Niners take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Raymond James Stadium. And then after that we'll give you the latest on the 49ers news, and then we're probably gonna have a very abbreviated show tonight. So then in our Niners Radio 49 Flashback, we'll continue the series we've been doing all year long throughout this regular season. We're commemorating the 40-year anniversary of that 1984 49ers team that won the Super Bowl, going 15-1 in the regular season, and they end up beating the Miami Dolphins in Super Bowl 19 down at Stanford Stadium. As the Niners, this week we look back and go back to Week 10 of the 1984 regular season. They'll be taking on the Cincinnati Bengals coming into Candlestick Park, and we'll get to that in just a few minutes. But first, we'll start it off with all the latest 49ers news from down in Santa Clara as the team got back to work at that bonus practice on McCaffrey was seen running during warm-ups and having fellow running back Jordan Mason en route to the team huddle. The reigning NFL AP NFL Offensive Player of the Year has yet to suit up in 24 due to his bilateral Achilles tendonitis. However, his recent ramp is in a step in the right direction. Prior to the breaking for the bye, Niners head coach Kyle Shanahan mentioned that McCaffrey would spend the week simulating practice in Santa Clara. If there's no setbacks, he would rejoin the team in time for a bonus practice, as you expect. McCaffrey's teammates were thrilled to see working out alongside him once again. It's such an amazing thing, 2 to 3 out there, extensive warm up and million high knees he does before practice. Left tackle Trent Williams said it was energizing. It was very short practice, so we only had one team period. I was energized. I was super happy. It turned around the corner and what he could do, what he loves again. The Niners will have 21 days uh, to activate McCaffrey to the 53-man roster. So we're going to show you some the clip video courtesy of 49ers.com. Show you that little video clip from him practicing. We're just going to just, this is, just going to scroll this down a little bit, just give you just the. Here's McCaffrey. video courtesy of 49ers.com. So we'll run it to you one more time. One more time. So there was some of the footage right there you seen. McCaffrey working out, and we'll just show you that clip right there. So we also gonna take a look to other moments, taking some of the other looks. Glad you guys joined us on Niners Radio 49 live here tonight on this late Monday night, and Niners will taking a look at the standings in the NFC West. The Niners will take on the 49ers. Will be back in action on Sunday. Next week they'll take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, looking at the NFC West standings, the Cardinals now are in sole possession of first place in the NFC West with a 5-4 record. Then it's the Rams and 49ers are both tied for second. Remember, the Rams have already beaten the Niners head to head, so they'll be ahead of the Niners. And then the Niners sit in third place, and the Seahawks, losing that heartbreaker yesterday, are now 4-5. So the Niners are hopefully, they can do a run in the second half, and then and that's how the standings are in the first half. And then there's some other news stats with, since Kyle Shanahan became the Niners head coach in 2017, they have a 21-33 record before the bye, but they're 43-18 after their bye. And in the last actually really since 2019, following their bye week, the 49ers in the last 5 years have only had just one losing season, have had a losing record, I should say, only just once in the previous 5 years since their Super Bowl run in 2019. After the 2018 season, they've only had just one losing record. So the 49ers will continue on as they get ready to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers next Sunday. That's a 10 a.m. kickoff. We'll be on satellite, our sister network station, Satellite Digital Media, for 49ers pregame live before kickoff. So we'll have that next next Sunday. It's gonna be an early game. We'll be having a pregame show right before kickoff, and then just a reminder, coming up after this game, then 2 weeks on November, and that, by the way, on that weekend, the Niners will be having it will be the NFL Veterans Day, Military Salute Day, all around the NFL. Then the Niners' next home game will be coming up on November 17th. That's a 1:05 kickoff time when the Niners take on the Seattle Seahawks. And this is where, of course, after this game, after they play Seattle on the on November 17th. Then they're on the road for the next 2 weeks. They'll be playing the they'll play the week leading up towards Thanksgiving, or the following Sunday after that they'll be playing the Green Bay Packers in that in week 12. That's going to be the late game, and that game will be at Lambeau Field. We are going to be in the process. We will be over. I believe we're going to be over at the. I'm trying to think. We're going to be over at the Gold Bar over at Treasure Island for that game, and then after that, on December 1st, which is right after the wrap up the Thanksgiving 4-day weekend, we will be when the Niners play the Buffalo Bills. I don't know where we're most likely going to probably be at the Keys or Pub for that game on that Sunday night. We're probably going to go local within the city limits for that game. But then we'll be back on the 11th. That will be coming up on November 17th. That will be exactly a little less than 2 weeks from now. That's, by the way, will be our next 49er tailgate show. We'll be taping that, be out there taping that show on the 17th. On the 17th, we'll air it later that week. And then after those two back-to-back games, then we'll be back. So the Niners will be on the road the next 2 weeks after a Thanksgiving wraparound, and then the Niners play the Bears. Then they'll wrap it up against the. Then they'll have the short week. They'll play the Rams on the 15th, and that game will have a lot of significance for their positioning because it's going to be a race now. They got Puka Nacua back and Cooper Kupp, so the Niners are getting people back. Dre Greenwald, he's going to get closer. Either if he doesn't play this Sunday, he'll play the following week against Seattle. So there's a lot of football left to be played, and we're going to just continue on our Niners Radio 49. Now coming up now on Niners Radio 49 is our Niners Radio Flashback. You guys are going to like this one. We're going to go back to 1984. The 49ers taking on the Cincinnati Bengals in the season's 10th, in week number 10. Week 10 of the 1984 NFL season. It was a Super Bowl season for your San Francisco 49ers, who comes into this game with an 8-1 record. And we're just going to recap as the Niners begin the second half of this in what would be a Super Bowl season. The Niners come in with an 8-1 record, and we will just give you a quick recap of what happened for the previous weeks. Niners going into week number 8. So we're going to just continue just to scroll down. So we'll just give you just a recap of what happened for the previous week. The Niners come in this game. The previous week, the Niners were able to bounce back after losing a tough one to the Pittsburgh Steelers 2 weeks earlier back in week 8. The Niners the previous week were able to dominate the Rams, and this was in week number 9. Just give you a brief recap. They end up winning that game 33-0, and the Niners had a great. It was all day. The Niners dominated over 472 total yards of offense to the Rams. They held the Rams to just only 206 total yards of offense, and then they shut down Eric Dickerson. Only 13 carries for 38 yards. And Jeff Camp, who later played for the 49ers, so we end up throwing for 180 yards. He threw 2 interceptions, and Joe Montana threw 3 touchdowns. By the way, Joe Montana never lost a game to the Anaheim Stadium in his career. or during the Niners run during the 1980s. So the Niners coming into this week, number 10th week, come in with an 8-1 record, with the best record in the NFC after their win over the Rams, and they're playing against a three. It's the 8-1 Niners versus a 3-6 Cincinnati Bengals team, who has now been coached by and the Bengals. These were two teams were in opposite directions. Uh, this time the Bengals were coached by former 49ers offensive quarterbacks coach Sam White, who took over for Forrest Gregg, who uh, who end up replacing Forrest Gregg after the '83 season. This was his first year as Bengals head coach, and the Bengals, who were just only 3 years removed from in fact, this was the first matchup between these two teams since Super Bowl 16, a game that the Niners ended up winning 26-21, which they had the big goal line stand, and and then Joe Montana won the first of would be three Super Bowl MVPs, but uh, it was the Bengals, Bill Walsh versus the old his protege Paul Brown, and that the Paul Brown offense we know as the West Coast offense. And this is an interconference matchup. The Bengals have always, regardless of the records, have always gave the Niners some great classic games in the regular season. They talk about the Super Bowl goal line stands, and they also talk about the goal line, either the goal line stand or Super Bowl 23 comeback. But this was another classic Niner Bengal game in Cincinnati. So the Niners came in. So we're going to show you highlights, a brief clip of a highlight from the Niners 1984 regular season. We're going to show you that highlight just a moment. But for now, you're watching 49ers live on Niners Radio 49. Let's take this quick timeout.
Losing to Pittsburgh. Against Cincinnati, Joe Montana threw a career-high 4 interceptions, and the Niners trailed 17-7 at halftime. But they chipped away at this deficit and proved that true champions win on bad days, and that come-from-behind character is part of the 49ers' makeup. Still, it was a close call of a contest, and fingers accustomed to defiantly flashing number 1 were engaged in a more humble activity.
This is a live ball game yet. With 1 minute and 39 seconds left, he has the ball. Play action fake, going back to pass. Stops, throws, into the end zone. Caught by Solomon. Touchdown, 49ers!
While the 49ers offense rarely had to walk this kind of a tightrope in 1984, their defense
All right, that was a great clip going back at the time from the year 1984. The Niners end up coming from behind to beat the Cincinnati Bengals 23-17. One point they trailed 17-7 at the intermission, and it was not one of their best games. We're gonna go into that highlight. You know. And we'll take a look back at that game. So we'll take a look back at that game from week number 10 from 1984. All right, sorry for the inconvenience. We got knocked. We got kind of got froze, knocked off the air temporarily. So we apologize for the inconvenience. So we were picking off. So we're gonna go into check us out. Oh, let me just remind you, check us out on YouTube.com. YouTube.com/ at Niners Radio 49. And also remind you, please click. So click that subscribe button. Our mission, we're trying to get. So our mission is trying to get 1,000 subscribers, and that is our goal. Is trying to get those 1,000 subscribers. So once again, we yeah. So we apologize for that. Our so now with the 49ers, now the record now go to 9-1 in that 1984 regular season. So now we're gonna week We apologize. We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by. All right, we're back here on Niners Radio 49, 49ers Live tonight on this late night, Monday night. Glad you guys tuning in. We just apologize for our technical difficulties. We continue to lose our Wi-Fi system, so we apologize for the inconvenience. So check us out on youtube.com/ at Niners Radio 49. Please always don't forget to click and like the subscribe button. Please spread the word. Our mission is trying to get 1,000 subscribers. Continue to build this platform empire. So we continue on Niners Radio 40, on 49ers Live tonight, hosted by yours truly, Professor B, and our satellite digital media studios in San Francisco. So as we left off, Niners, we're recapping the 1984 40th anniversary Niners Super Bowl season from the year 1984, and we just took a look back of the Niners coming from behind. They trailed 17-7 at the intermission, and they came back and they were able to score 14 unanswered points to come behind to beat the Bengals 24-23, or 23-17, correction, 23-17. And to now with the win, the Niners improved to 9-1, while the struggling Bengals, who lost so many close games in 1984, are 3-7 now. So now in our final segment, we're going to go into the NFL Week number 10 scoreboard. Take a look up what was the rest around the NFL from the year 1984 during week number 10. So we're going to just take a look, scroll down. And it's presented by the Football Database. This is a good source. Taking it back from week number 10. maintain their commanding three-game lead in the NFC West. So the Niners continuing their winning ways, won two in a row since they've now won three in a row since after losing 3 weeks earlier to the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. The Niners bouncing back, and now they're just with the Saints and the Falcons both struggling. The Rams the Niners now have 3-game lead, have a commanding 3-game lead in the NFC West as they trying to really be this race between them for the top spot in the NFC West as the Niners get ready to make that second half push in 1984. They're starting to really separate themselves from the rest of the pack. They already had swept their first round divisional opponents as they begin the second game of the second half of the season. Niners continue to push, trying to get to that top spot, the number one spot for the top seed in the NFC, and they already have a three games up on the Rams in the division. They're already 3 games up on the Rams in the division as they started to pull away, started to pull away and run away with the NFC West, and they already have a 3-game lead up on the Washington Redskins, the two-time defending NFC champion Redskins, for the overall top spot in the NFC. Plus, remember, they already had beaten the Redskins on Monday Night Football back in Week 2, and they have those tiebreaker advantage. So the Niners keep on taking care of business as they try to make that push towards that top spot in the NFC, have the road to Stanford Stadium and Palo Alto run through them for the entire NFC playoffs. So the Niners keep on taking care of their business, and they're now had to come back. It was an ugly duckling win against a spunky Bengal team that always gave the Niners trouble over the years, and they're taking care of business with that win on that Sunday on November 4th, 1984. So next week when we do our next 49er flashback in honor of that 1984 Super Bowl season, celebrating 40 years of that 84 Super Bowl champion, we'll then go to week number 10. And this is when the 49ers will travel back to the Eastern Time Zone. The early game, they'll take on the Cleveland Browns at the old Municipal Stadium. By now, the Cleveland Browns have a new head coach by the name of Marty Schottenheimer, will take over for the recent fired Sam Rutigliano, who led the Browns to 2 playoff appearances in 3 years, including an AFC Central Division title back in 1980. But the Niners going to have another test going into Cleveland, take on the Browns. So the Niners keep on, the Niners are maintaining a 3-game lead in the NFC West and maintaining 3 games up on the Redskins for the overall top spot in the NFC. So we'll look back at that game next week, the week number 11. And then tomorrow on 49ers Live tonight, we'll take a look back if we continue the 35th anniversary of the 49ers winning back-to-back Super Bowls. We will take a look back. We'll take a look back. I believe it's going to be week 10. I think it's going to be week 10 when the 49ers taking on the New Orleans Saints at Candlestick Park. Now, you remember, originally the 49ers were supposed to play the Saints at the Superdome in New Orleans on Monday Night Football back in week 10, but unfortunately because the 49ers Candlestick Park was unavailable because the 49ers were playing in the National League with the Giants, who they were sharing were playing the Cubs in the National League Championship Series. So they ended up switching that game to the Superdome the weekend the Giants were playing in the playoffs against the Cubs, and then moved that home game to that Monday night in week number 10. So we'll take a look back of Niners and Saints from So I'm trying to think. We'll look back at that game back in Week 10. I'm trying to think. We will take a look back at that game sometime next. We will take a look back at that game next Monday or tomorrow on Niners Radio 49 in our flashback segment. We'll just have a that will be that they're taking on the Saints on Monday Night Football at Candlestick Park. The Niners came into that game, so they after losing to the Rams, they were 4-1, 5-1, 6-1, 7-1. Niners begin the second half of their magical 1989 season on the road to repeat as Super Bowl champions. They will recap that game, and then later in the week, as we also continue to celebrate the 49ers' 30-year anniversary of their last Super Bowl win, when they traveled to the nation's capital to take on the Washington Redskins at RFK Stadium in the nation's capital. So we kind of covered everything tonight, and we'd like to thank all of you for watching Niners Radio 49 on 49ers Tonight. And, of course, the 49ers will get you ready for Niners and the Buccaneers coming up on Sunday. Kickoff time will be at 10 a.m. We will, this Sunday, I believe we're going to be on location for pregame show right before kickoff. The Niners taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Raymond James Stadium. That, by the way, will be a 10 a.m. game. Kickoff at 10 a.m. You can catch the game on KNBR 680 104.5 FM, and you could also catch the game on Fox Sports. So thank you for joining us tonight on Niners Radio 49. We'd like to thank all of you for watching in on 49ers Live tonight. Hope.
Hey, everybody.
Okay. So we all hope that you enjoyed the podcast tonight. Great podcast. Just to look at it, the 49ers, of course, they're going to have a lot of work to get done because they'll have 3 more divisional games, of course, after, if they could try to keep it within a game or so. They'll play the Seahawks on the 17th. They'll play the Rams mid-December on Thursday night, and then after that, they'll play the Cardinals at the end of the year. That could have a lot for the division title. So, a lot's going to be with the next few weeks because the Niners will play the Buccaneers Sunday, because then 3 of the next 4, this will be the first of 3 of the next 4 games will be on the road. They'll play at Tampa, then they go back home to play the Seahawks, and then after that, they will go to Green Bay for a week, and then or go to Green Bay to play the Packers the week leading up to and then they'll wrap it up the road odyssey on the weekend after the 4-day holiday on Thanksgiving, when the Niners take on the Buffalo Bills for an interconference matchup. So anyway, I'm glad you guys joined in tonight. And just a reminder, please hit the subscribe button. Go to youtube.com/@NinersRadio49 to click the subscribe button. We want you to continue. Please continue we continue to build our podcast. We continue to build this thing, taking it to the next level. We really want to take this to the next level, and get our 1,000 subscribers, create as much content we can, and continue to build this and have this consistently. So now we're going to get ready to sign off for tonight. I'm glad you guys enjoy it. So we'll be back on tomorrow night for another edition of Niners Radio 49. And I think we're going to be in the process of doing an interactive game where yours truly will be doing some play-by-play. We will not show you the video, but I'm going to do like a condensed audio interactive play-by-play when the 49ers, within the next few weeks. We're going to vote on that eventually. So, come up with some new innovative ideas as well. So that's it for now. Professor B here at the studios here at Satellite Digital Media in Candlestick Man Cave here in San Francisco. Thank you for watching us another edition of 49ers Live Tonight, hosted by yours truly, Professor B, on Niners Radio 49. 49ers Live Tonight is a presentation of Niners Radio 49 in association with the Satellite Digital Media News Network, where every team has a fan and every fan has a voice. The network home of champions. 49ers faithful to the Bay, have a very pleasant, blessed, and safe good night. And reminder, please go out and vote tomorrow. The voting polls, wherever you are, if you're here in the Bay Area, it'll be open from 7 in the morning to about 8 o'clock at night. And for the rest of you, wherever all you Niner fans are at, if not in the Bay Area, but around the state of California, down Southern California, or out of state, beyond, wherever you're at, please go out and vote. Very important. Make your vote count. So that's it for now. Professor B signing off, and thank you for watching another edition of 49ers Live Tonight on Niners Radio 49.